Our opening song is called The Pornography Song. Get it at awtfy.com. That's awtfy.com/shaft.
I'm like wondering, so what am I searching for when I stumble across Brian?
My yard needed water, so I called the lawn man to come service it. My yard needed water, so I called the lawn man to come service it.
What I didn't expect is that he'd be servicing me in the butt with his giant hose. He removed his massive dick with his thumb over the tip and sprayed my butthole.
My yard needed water, so I called the lawn man to come service it. My yard needed water, so I called the lawn man to come service it.
Hot strokes. Hot strokes. Hot strokes. She found him on a site, a celebrity Hearthstone e-picking lewd.
Is it too late to add I came instantly? Just so it's very clear that this is pornography.
Hot strokes. Stop it. Don't use that filthy mud word. Hot strokes. Stop it. Hot strokes. Hot strokes. Filthy mud word. Hot strokes. Hot strokes. Stop it. Hot strokes. Suddenly we're done. Oh my God, so good as always. It's Tuesday night. Hello, you beautiful citizens of the internet, live from the newly minted Diamond Club Studios, deep in the heart of the 7 Acre Shwood, located right in the historic border of Austin city limits. Hello, you beautiful people. Our first inaugural night attack from the brand new studio. I'm Brian Brushwood, joined as always by my BFF and OAK. It's JRY, Justin Robert Young. What's up, buddy?
Oh, it is on! 10 years since we debuted the NSFW show, we have opened up a brand new era of the Night Attack program live here on Tuesday night. I'm so pumped, and I'm not even there, Brian.
Dude, I had no idea that it was 10 years to the actual day. Real quick, to anybody who notices anything different on the audio quality or the video quality, we're moving in. We're figuring it out. Calm down. It's going to be fine. It's going to be even better than it ever was before. But who would have thought that this momentous occasion would be 10 years to the day for the first time that we had an official show on an official network?
You want to know what? I was blown away when we learned that, but also the first thought I had is, man, we got to do something special to celebrate the fact that this is the first episode in the new studio. This is the anniversary. I'm thinking beard, smoking jacket. You got anybody on hand?
I mean, I don't know. I got this tenant. He doesn't pay rent. He pays me in jokes now and again. He's kind of a funny guy, kind of similar to the space you're in with political humor that doesn't make you pick a team. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us live in studio, also sleeping in the spare bedroom, Mr. Andrew Heaton.
Hello! I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me on the inaugural New Studio podcast. Wait, hold on. Am I like, who is the guy that lived on O.J. Simpson's couch? Is it Cato? Am I the Cato of your life? Is
Gerald
that who
Ford. It was Gerald Ford.
I'm the Gerald Ford of the new studio. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
I'm just thrilled that you made it back.
It was actually the Cato Institute.
Not a lot of people know. Not a lot of people know the Cato Institute started out at O.J. Simpson's garage. They downplay that.
Originally called the Cato Kalin Institute.
Yeah, that's
for advanced studies.
They dropped Kalin, and they're like,
pool.
we're going to drop the murder and pro-free market.
Okay, so one of the things, first of all, thank you to everybody. I think we mentioned last week, over the last couple of weeks, that we got 90% to completion on this place, but we just had a bunch of bills all come due at once, and I sort of put out, hey guys, haha, LOL, over the last year, we made it 90% of the way. We need the last 10%, so if you'd like to join in and become part of what we started calling the Founders Club, please donate now. And we set up a bunch of different tiers and all that stuff. If you go to scamstuff.com, you can participate and you can still get in on all the rewards. But we get to announce we crossed the border. We financially are solvent. We got everything covered now, and now I'm in the weird spot where it's like part of me is like, what the last thing you want to do is like, thanks for the money, and then shut it down. So instead, clearly what we have to do is leave it open for anybody who wants to be immortalized on the Founders Club plaque, or to get one of the unique numbered challenge coins, or get one of the trees named after you, or any of that stuff. We're going to leave it open for a couple more weeks right now. But thank you to everybody who went to scamstuff.com. Man, it's one of those things that you have a vague idea that there's a groundswell of support to make your dreams come true, but then you press that button, and sure enough, like when they show up, it moves your heart. It's really amazing.
I'm really glad they did. So is someone not directly financially benefiting from this? This place is awesome. So like the first night I come in, Brian's like, hey, like you want a beer and to see my weapons grade telescope? And so we like look at the moon and stuff. Every day I wake up and I hang out with some really cool people, and then at some point Brian will come in and try and cook a burrito with a blowtorch or something. Like I'm basically living in a sitcom right now. It's really cool.
Oh, so all right, Justin. Today,
Yeah.
I think last time you were here, you might have seen this. When they installed the windows, there was one that was installed with like a giant crack, and there's like a shard half dangling out from it. Like it's exposed to the
Safety
outside
shard.
world. It's not a
safety
safety
shard.
shard. No, it's just it's a stabbing shard, is what
no,
it is.
that's Brian. It's a thing. It's an old Europe thing that you have to have a safety shard.
Yeah.
And then in case of an unsafe
it's
moment,
it's
you
good
take the
luck.
shard. Yeah, you throw it over your left shoulder to hit Satan in the eye.
So this afternoon, I'm about to go pick up Penny from school, so I stop by here and I say hello to Andrew, and then we're in the middle of chatting about tonight, actually, and then there's a knock at the door, which is a little bit weird because we're a bit out there, kind of in the country, and there's a knock at the door, and I look, and there's somebody who has what appears to be a package, and I think, like, a UPS guy or what? And I'm like, hello? And he's like, hey, man, I'm Garrett. I don't know if that's his name or not.
It was.
Oh,
It was
okay.
specifically Garrett.
You know
yeah.
what? Let's pretend it's not.
You mean-
Probably
you
better
mean,
if it's not.
Bill? Yeah.
He goes, I'm Garrett. I'm like, cool. What's up? And he just holds up this window. And I'm like, oh, is that a delivery? He's like, no, I'm the window installer. We got
the glazer. He didn't say that, but he should have.
and so he basically, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna put in the thing. He's like, yeah, I sure am. And I'm like, come on in. I'm like, hey, this is Andrew. He's crashing here, and it's like, we're finally gonna get this is the last piece of everything to be installed. And he's like, oh my gosh, you have no idea. This whole thing with the window, it's been a whole thing. It's taken forever to get to us. They keep giving us the wrong parts and all that stuff.
Like they sent it around the planet a couple of times. Like he went to Thailand and they'd send it back. Like it was a whole thing.
You could
That's
tell
the
that.
the only way you're sure you get a good window. When
Well,
But you could see a tiredness behind this man's eyes and a great sense of satisfaction that this journey was finally, this monkey's paw that he'd been given had finally been stopped.
He's like, I'm here to cross you off my list. It's been a very long time. And it has been like 6 weeks, maybe 2 months, right? And so we are like, cool. He's like, well, is there anything we need to get for you? Can we get you a soda? Can we help? Or he's like, nope, I got it all here. And so at this point, Andrew and I turn back to talking shop comedy nonsense, right? Anyway, my butt fart goes like that. And we're making each other
All
laugh.
we talk about.
Out of the corner of our eye, and tell me what your experience was like, but out of the corner of my eye, I just sort of notice a stillness. And I almost sense, maybe not sadness, but dread. It's like I felt the song of a joke gone bad off to my right.
Here's my thing is I just saw his posture change because he went from scarecrow to question mark of just this like his back just kind of like caved a little bit and the whole world made a little bit less sense and it was like, hey Garrett, what's up? And he's like, they sent the wrong pane of glass. And I felt so bad. I was like, "Hey, Garrett, don't worry. We can just brick it up. It's fine. We got there's probably a brick layer around these parts. Don't worry about that, man." Poor Garrett. Yeah, he was.
So he was going to replace the pane, couldn't replace the pane.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
the plan tomorrow is for them to actually break out the existing glass and then swap out the glass for the glass or something. I don't know.
So basically, Sisyphus finally thought he had pushed the pane of glass up top of the hill, only for it to roll back down upon.
I would love that. Would be an amazing novel. Sisyphus dunks. like he finally gets there and just slams it down, only to find out he's still on the free throw line.
I think Sisyphus trying to fold bed sheets correctly would be a good, I think that'd be the modern equivalent.
So anyway, that's how close to finished with everything that we are. Everything's come together fantastic. We were able to do a whole day of episodes yesterday, including, cough, cough, the movie draft for the Winter Movie League that I noticed.
Great job. Very excited about this movie draft. Very, very excited. Very pumped to be a part of it.
When
D-R-A-F-T, draft. That's what I say when I think about the movies.
Hey, Justin, which of your movies are you most excited about?
Man, I love all of them, to be honest. Like, you're trying to think about them, and I just can't even pick one. I just know I'm pumped. P-U-M-P-E-D. Pump, pump, pump. That's what I say.
Well, what do you think about your strategy? Do you think you focus too much on the older crowds or the younger crowds?
Man, here's the only crowd I want to see. Crowd of that green, baby. Greenbacks coming into my stable. That's because I got the best movies. I got the movies that are going to beat everybody's butt. Woo!
Well, I know.
But. That's what I say.
We all had a good time, but which of Mike TV's little ditties sung about each of the 30 different songs that we auctioned off on the movie draft last night? Which of those was your favorite?
I love the one that went, I'm Mike TV and I'm singing a song about a movie that came out. Hey, Mike TV.
Look, admit it, Justin, you're a draft dodger. You're the world's first draft dodger.
Whoa, Brian. All these accusations. I dodged the draft. I didn't show up. I hired a ringer named Movie League Mike to run my draft because I didn't show up and I'm a draft dodger. Sure, all of these very different and separate allegations, I'm just going to go ahead and dismiss them outright. Look, Movie League Mike is and has been a very, very good friend. No collusion. Fake news.
Yeah, man, this is the first time. I suppose it's sort of like a coming of age moment. It's the first time that the movie draft has sort of evolved, because originally it was, I think it was Justin that proposed the initial bones. I believe. Do you remember at the time, was it directly inspired? Because I was surprised as we learned more about the original Rotisserie League, how similar our game was to the original version of fantasy baseball.
No, yeah, it was based on fantasy football. The idea was to do a movie draft where instead of drafting players, you were drafting movies, and it would play out over a season. And to this day, no one's done it like we've done it. Like I know like Slash Film still does their movie wager or whatever, and there are like daily fantasy versions of it. But I think the only people to do it, ironically, we thought we were the only people on earth to do exactly that game. But in a literal Simpsons did it. The Simpsons did it. The Simpsons writers' room apparently individually have done a game like that. But yeah, this is the first one in the many years since we've done this, the damn near 10 years that we've done it, that unfortunately I totally screwed up my schedule, and at the last minute I had to find somebody else to play my part at the draft.
Well, the good news is that you can watch. I would say, since you weren't there, I will say this was a weird draft because I found myself kind of playing more of the psychological game, which was these high-risk sort of taking surprisingly big jumps forward, hoping to rattle the likes of John Teasdale and Brett the Amtrak or Rounceville. But so weirdly, I feel like I almost certainly am going to come in last place. New sentence. I'm also pretty sure I'll only be $150 million behind first place. Like, it is such a weird draft because nobody feels great about their slate, and I'm pretty sure we're all going to be in the same neighborhood of 150, 200 million.
I'm so sorry. Can I just jump in? I'm not entirely sure how this game works.
So what we do is we get 6 players. Each of us gets $100 game dollars. There are 30 movies that are going to come out over the winter. Originally, it was a summer thing, but this is the winter version. And so we all bid them up based on how we think they're going to perform in terms of the box office.
Okay.
So now we buckle in for the 6-month horse race as we watch the returns come in. Long story short, it's an excuse for us to smack talk and have a long-running thread as we check in with how movies are doing in general.
Nice, okay.
But in this case, man, it's a weird one, Justin.
It is super. So literally, I'm looking at this for the first time. I can't believe that another movie went for all the money.
Yes.
Because
You would think all of us have learned our lesson, but of all people, Brett Rounceville, he went in. So we had to develop a new rule once Star Wars movies started coming out in the winter. What happens when somebody goes to $100? And then we realized that the bidding has to keep on continuing, where they're bidding $100 game dollars for 90% of the gross, 85% of the gross, 50% of the gross, and so on. So I think we all agree that Brett has second place locked, and that it's really just going to be sort of a scratch-off lottery ticket for everybody else.
yeah, I mean, the movies looking at this that I like the most, I like Joker probably the most next to the Star Wars movie.
Joker is tracking on Hollywood Stock Exchange for around $200 million. It's also a fairly extraordinary comic book movie because it got a Gold Lion at Cannes, which is pretty extraordinary. This has the possibility to be like that, to have that artistic and street cred perfect fusion, right?
Yeah, and just like a movie everybody needs to go see. Now it is R, right?
Oh, not Cannes, Venice Film Festival. Sorry about that.
Is Joker R? Or is it PG-13?
Oh, it's got to be, right? Yeah, I would
is
imagine.
The Rise of Skywalker, is that a prequel talking about Skywalker, or did one of
It's the last of the 9 it's the final episode of the 9-episode
the
saga.
young lady's probably a Skywalker then, I'm thinking. Right?
Wouldn't it be great if like psych, and then Joe Skywalker shows up and just cuts off her leg?
But other than that, yeah, Frozen 2, Jumanji. It looks like nobody was able to package together 2 of the out of the park movies together.
We should point out to everybody listening at home that this is their opportunity. So the 6 of us play, and we just bid whatever we feel like we can get, and we're playing against each other. But the second wave is everybody in the chat realm, in the audience, gets to play. Imagine we're the Fed, and we set all the prices, and the actual folks in the audience get to say, that's too much, that's too little. So they go to draft.nightattack.tv, is that right?
draft.diamondclub.tv/form.
There you go. And so they get to spend their own $100 with the prices we set, and then say, this is the best slate from the prices that you set, because some of them are obviously undervalued, others are clearly overvalued.
Okay.
Yeah, man. This is going to be an awesome draft. This is going to be an awesome season. Because everyone's going to end with under $300 million.
I mean, look, I don't want to accuse you of shenanigans, but you're kind of in the perfect position, because if Movie League Mike does well, you get to claim all the credit. And if he screws it all up, you get to hand him all the blame.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Come on. I thought we were friends here, having a good friendly conversation. Next thing you know, all these sniping. It's beneath you. Jeez. I mean, yeah, okay, sure. Theoretically, you could say that if Movie League Mike does awful, then it's Movie League's Mike's fault because he did an awful job drafting. And if Movie League Mike does well, then I'll take full credit. You could say that. You could say that I have ways to win on both sides. But, I mean, those would just be words.
Okay, look, all right, this is very close to the portion of the show where we move into playing our game, but I feel like since 2 of the 3 hosts right now are political experts, I feel
Am I a rotating host? I'm going to put that on my resume.
Goddamn
But
right.
I'll list 2006 Time Man of the Year, thank you, and also 2-time host on Night Attack. Thank you.
Okay, well, let's make sure it's more than 2 times. But we were talking in the pre-show. By the way, if you're a patron, you get the pre-show, the post-show, and everything in between. But we were talking a bit. I would love to dive in just very, very briefly on is Trump, like, seriously, is Trump trying to get impeached? I really think there's something to this theory.
You made a really good case earlier that like it would benefit him, right? Like, because I don't. The Republicans in the Senate would really need to grow a lot more testicles than they currently have to actually remove him if he did something bad. So if he got impeached but he didn't get removed, it would focus the entire media cycle on him, like you pointed out, and he would get to play the like, look, it's an anti-Trump character attack. These guys are bullies card. Like I kind of think it could benefit him. Yeah.
I mean, I think he's really good at sucking up all the oxygen in the room.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say that tamps that down a little bit is one of my takes that has not proven out right, which is that I assumed that Donald Trump would revel in debating any of the primary challengers, that he would be able to make hay and totally suck the oxygen out of the Democratic primary by debating, the Joe Walshes and Bill Welds and Mark Sanfords of the world. He has not done that. So I now lean more on the idea that he just wants to run on the record that he has. The impeachment thing, although I do think there are a lot of ways this can go. I think that there is at least a statistical chance now, because Pelosi's moving forward with it, that he is impeached. There is a slightly smaller statistical chance that he is removed. But no matter what, this will be the only political story talked about until it's over. And if that's the case, then anybody who's below 5% now, the Buttigiegs, the Yangs, the Gabbards, get the fuck out. Like, it is over for you. If you don't already have a national reputation, there's no room at the inn. No more coverage for you. No more softball features or attack pieces.
Now I'm even less. I'm less enthused now because you mentioned a bunch of the people that I like. They're going to get flushed out.
Well, but also like that only lends more credibility, because like my guess. Okay, so let's back it up even more. Maybe he's not trying to be impeached. What he's trying to do is create, like, he's turning the contrast button knob all the way to full, where he's like, I'm going to run right towards that cliff and dance on that cliff, and everyone's going to talk about whether or not I'm going to fall off that cliff or not. But meanwhile, nobody's talking about anybody under 15% polling.
One thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I also wonder, like, because I feel like every Trump scandal involves something offensive and then something ambiguous, to where, like, I feel like I've been kind of inured to Trump scandals over the last year and a half or so. I almost wonder if he intentionally kind of comes up towards the line just to get everybody talking about potential impeachment. That way, if anything ever actually does happen, it's like, well, we've already talked about that for a year, and they're not, we're none of us are freaked out by it. I think he might have been building up an immunity to impeachment the last year and a half.
Yeah, well, and plus also, I think that there's a legitimate case to be made for, like, nobody's ever been removed from office who's ever been impeached. The only person who did left of was in her own court.
Yeah, I mean, like, Nixon knew it was going to happen. But again, Nixon's popularity in his own party fell to like sub 20. Trump's is now at 95.
Is it really?
Yeah, no, it's insane. Like among Republicans, he's still insanely popular.
Now there's a long way to go between here and there and him to get to Nixon levels. And if that's the only way that the Republicans are going to turn on him like they turned on Nixon. The only thing that I think is weird about this impeachment situation is that really we went like 3 years about the Mueller thing. We had a lot of a special prosecutor and all this stuff and a big thing, and everybody talked about it forever. No movement on this. Like this Ukraine thing that starts like less than a week ago. It initially broke on Thursday. Like, there are people here in the Bay Area, which is one of the most politically liberal plugged in places in the world, that don't even know what the fuck it's about. And they are running at a breakneck pace for impeachment on that. I was joking with Heaton before that it's like somebody who is with some, a friend of yours that's with a girlfriend forever. They don't get married and they break up. And then next thing you know, 3 weeks later, you're getting an invitation for a wedding because he married the first girl that he went on a Tinder date with.
Patreon.com/Night Attack. If you want stories about running a cult compound that turned into a comedy bit, that turned into political discourse, that turned into a plug on Patreon, then boy, oh boy, do we have a podcast for you, our friends.
Hell yeah, man. Patreon.com/Night Attack is where, as Brian mentioned, you can get the pre-show and the post-show before anybody else. And right now, we want to thank everybody that's already kicked in while We are building up Diamond Club Studios. If there is stuff that you would like to see in Diamond Club Studios, head on over to our Discord. We have a whole channel set up for that. But know that any money coming in, we got some ideas. We got some ideas on how we can continue to make the Night Attack program bigger and better. If there was ever a moment, speaking of NSFW show, that you really like the things we were able to do with a larger studio, with cameras that are already set up, with lighting that's already set up.
Man, look,
Good
Justin,
days are back, baby.
normally I would let you play coy on all this, but let's just be flat, direct, and to the point. Would you guys like to see the return of the summer music series? Would you like to see us set up a jib camera? Would you like us to make this as beautiful a television quality studio as you've ever seen? Would you like us to, I don't know, here's a nutty idea, start doing Night Attack more than one night a week? Then guess what? You can make all of these things happen by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/nightattack.
Absolutely. And Brian, of course, every single episode on the show, we shout out somebody who indeed did become a new patron or up their pledge, to which we say, be like them and up yours. It's a segment we call...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Night Attack new Patreon name chant corner hour.
It's an hour of it. So I just saw Andrew Heaton's response to that sounder, and I realized that he may not understand the bit. Look, here's the thing. Out there, somebody has this ear pod in their face holes. And I don't know if they're jogging, I don't know if they're in the middle of doing work or whatever, but our favorite idea on the planet is, how weird would it be if you're just listening to your favorite podcast and all of a sudden we turned and we looked directly at you, Adam C.
Adam C.
You did this, Adam C. You did this. I see that you see that we all see you contributed on patreon.com/nightattack.
We put you in your place, the Adam C section.
Thank you very much, Adam C.
And of course, Brian. Wait, what do we do next? I forgot.
Oh, well, next we tell a 1-minute story and go full-on Twitch cam girl mode, and we just tell an unrelated story to whatever donations happen to be coming in at twitch.tv/nightattack.
Yeah, well, here, steal the win, Brian. That's what I have tattooed on my chest because I believe it gives me the vim and vigor I need in life.
Well, yeah, of course you want to steal the win, especially when some old dead polymers is not stealing any wins. What are you? He's just laying there with wins all over. You're like, gimme, I'm going to steal that.
Well, and that's why when I went to my favorite bar, I ordered a Castalla, and I said, I got to think of a way to make Andrew Heaton get in on this bit. So I called up Andrew, and I said, hey, Andrew, Al-Anon 666, which is a secret code we have.
Yeah, well, I talked to Curtis Lerquay, and Curtis said that Al-Anon is not as much fun, and that you should probably just go ace hastily over to a store of your choice.
Hell yeah, I replied as I hung up my rotary phone. Aaron Byrne, too, said the phone operator. Poplar 9.
Also, for the record, Cattle Stalia, only fan we've ever had. Everyone else, human garbage. Thank you very much, Cattle Stalia. We do the show just for you, our only bit boss. Hey,
Indeed.
Bryce, do we got a game to play?
Also, yeah, sorry, go ahead. I just want to shout out Steal the Win and Mitsula, who also have been trading back and forth with the bit boss. Thanks to you, but not as much thanks as we have Cattle Stalia.
Breaking
Folks.
news, ladies and gentlemen.
Folks, it's time. The news is back. People are in the news. And people have fucked up.
Oh, no! Oh,
Is this what I think it is?
Yes!
Andrew, do you have any idea what we're about to play?
No?
Oh my God, Andrew, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to join us for our favorite bit of all time. It's a little Google News alert that we like to call Apologizes For.
That's right.
Apologizes for!
So here's the thing: you don't even have to listen to our podcast to play this game. Just set yourself a Google News alert that sends you the news story that it involves the words "apologizes for."
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm excited.
Okay. So the way the game works is Bryce is going to give us most of a news headline. It's our job to complete the blank.
That's
Okay,
right.
Great.
For example, here is a headline for you. Military apologizes to Area 51 alien stock crowds for blank blank. So this past week was the big alien stock.
can I jump
I'm
in
just
on
going
that?
to throw this out. Bad rave.
All right, we're going to start with Brian here while I look for some paper. here.
Pranking people with alien costumes.
So you're going to try to fill out the words that I've omitted with blanks.
Okay.
And the closest, as determined by science, gets a point. The most person with the most points at the end of the game wins the game. Brian, we're going to start with you. Military apologizes to Area 51 alien stock crowds for blank blank.
Arby's sponsorship.
Brian's going to say Arby's sponsorship. The military, of course, sponsoring
Come on,
Arby's.
man. You tell me Wendy's wasn't available? This is bullshit.
All right, Arby's sponsorship. Justin.
Paul Oakenfeld?
Rest in peace,
I'm
Paul.
saying-
That's
I'm
insane that they got
saying-
him.
That sauce hits different when there's no water for 50 miles. Like, it's a good sauce.
Ditchweed.
I'm going to go ahead and say no alien.
For no aliens. All right. Andrew, before we get, I have a part of the apology here. Quote, last night, a DVID SHUB employee posted a tweet that in no way supports the stance of the Department of Defense, said the apology. It was inappropriate, and we apologize for the mistake.
Hold on. So I'm not talking about aliens.
Okay.
No,
What's your
I'm-
call?
I'm-
The
Are you
military.
asking or
I'm,
telling?
I'm clarifying.
You're going to try to fill in this blank. All right.
okay.
Fill in the
Can
blank.
There is
you
an
give it to me
actu-
one more time?
Yeah, the actual
Yes, I will
headline
do it.
is what Bryce is going to read to you.
Okay.
The blanks are what you have to fill in.
Right.
Yes. Military apologizes to Area 51 alien stock crowds for blank blank.
Okay, great. For that one, I'm gonna double past Justin Robert Young and say for executing aliens.
Executing aliens.
Yeah, when you see a hanging, it's always terrible. But when you see a hanging with some grays, it's never fun for the
It
family.
was an ugly sight, though, Heaton. You know, a bleary-eyed Norman Schwarzkopf, shirt off, obvious whiskey breath. Is this who you love? He spittle sprays as he hangs an alien.
All right. As reported by Deadline, military apologizes to Area 51 alien stock crowds for threatening tweet.
Threatening?
Threatening
Who do they
tweet.
threaten?
They threatened the goers.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
From at DVIDS Hub, the last thing hashtag millennials will see if they attempt to hashtag
A
Area
parade?
51 raid today.
They'll stick a parade on them?
That's a bomber jet.
Okay, hold on. I understand, I think you would have been safe if you just said the last thing you will see if you attempt to penetrate this military installation will be, and then a picture of a bunch of military people. But to call out specifically millennials seems
So
like
there was-
weirdly specific.
There was I'm going to read from Deadline.com. The tweet noted, in a follow-up, if ever needed, we are hashtag ready to drop something much, much bigger. An accompanying video in the tweet cuts to a shot of a stealth fighter jet dropping what appears to be 2 thermonuclear bombs.
See, that sounds to me like some junior grade lieutenant at Area 51 dated a woman who really likes Coast to Coast AM, and she broke his heart, and he's like, we're ready. We'll get him at any minute. We'll kill him. If I were the commandant of Area 51, I would have pranked the shit out of those people. It would have been, I would have, as they're approaching, I would have had several people, suddenly run out of a warehouse wearing alien costumes with a guy in an army hat running after him with a net. And then no, don't pay attention to this, right?
So this is the kind of story and proposal you would make if you had never had to deal with crazy people at your job. A friend of ours, Richard Garriott, became America's first second-generation astronaut when he bought his way to the International Space Station. He was one of the first space tourists, and he casually joked to one of the NASA folks that he was working with, oh man, when I am on my ham radio, because every I have a 15-minute window to talk on my ham radio to my dad, I should make a joke about a UFO. And he said the ashen gray look on that NASA guy, he was like, please don't do that. like the next level, like funny joke for you, lifetime for us.
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
That's every phone call we get for the next 40 years. Yeah.
Science is
Just a slight deviation from this, but about the raid Area 51. Did you guys see there was like a sex worker in Vegas that was like, yeah, I'm gonna make $600,000 this weekend. Like bunch of lonely boys out here in the.
I gotta ask how much she's pricing the individual episodes there for that to happen. That sounds like a pretty. Hats off to that young lady. I appreciate industriousness in any capacity.
I don't know what I see somebody who knows the worth of $1, and
I'll tell you what,
working
man.
hard.
Like, how much more for Vegas pussy would you pay if she said, "Look, legally, contractually, I will be shot if I confess to you that I had an alien pussy transplanted, but you can always wonder if, and there's only one way to find out, and it's $6,000."
Alien
no,
Pussy
all I know
Transplant
is-
could be a great film. I think Alien Pussy Transplant may be the way to go in the next lineup.
Somebody needs to put that exact scenario in one of those dating simulators. Literally, Brian just says, and it's just. Alien pussy is in caps.
And it's got a hyperlink to the value on the Pussipedia.
All right, Andrew, with your answer of executing aliens, you were correct. Correct.
Well done.
Excellent, thank you. Although, but I didn't get. So it's, am I just going for the best answer?
Yeah,
accurate
close.
answer?
You were closest by science.
Oh, wow.
Science. Science determined you were the closest.
Nice,
Of the
thank
three
you,
of us.
science.
Turns out Arby's
That
sponsorship
was-
not as close as executing aliens.
That was, by the way, that was the fastest that science goes. Sometimes science really needs to grind on those answers. So we'll see. They're not. That was that was impressive by you. Heath.
Is that a plea for more beep, boop, 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 boop?
I don't know.
No, come on. It's a computer, Brian. I don't know make me explain shit to you, Grandpa.
All right, Justin, we're going to start with you. Lizzo apologizes for accusing Postmates driver of blank, blank, blank. Lizzo.
So Lizzo apologizes for Postmates driver?
Yeah, Lizzo apologizes for accusing Postmates driver of blank, blank, blank.
Should I know who Lizzo is?
Lizzo is a.
Brian, as it turns out, you just took a DNA test and you're 100% confused who Lizzo is.
I'm not even.
I feel like I'm like at a next level now.
Is a Postmate like a hipster version of a mailman?
Yes.
Okay.
Postmate.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Wait, do I not even know what a Postmates is?
I'm not.
I think I
Postmate
always thought
sounds cuter, but it sounds like a
Postmates-
mailman. to me.
Isn't Postmates like a TaskRabbit kind of thing?
It's
for
like a-
sending email or mails.
Postmates is mostly food.
Mostly food.
Mostly food delivery.
Okay.
So Lizzo apologizes to Postmate for blank blank.
Apologizes for accusing Postmates driver of blank, blank, blank. We're going to start with
Okay,
Justin.
all
on
right,
this
right,
one.
right.
Blank, blank, blank. 3 blanks.
Wait, for real? You guys don't know Postmates or Lizzo?
Hey, man, who's sitting on 7 acres?
One of the people in this building Postmates something to this building in the last 3 hours.
Cool.
Cool. All right. So, Justin, we're going to start with you. In fact, in her tweet apologizing about this, Lizzo said, "I apologize for putting that girl on blast. I understand I have a large following and that there were so many variables that could have put her in danger. I'm going to be a real more responsible with my use of social media and check my petty and my pride at the door."
Late food delivery.
Late food delivery. All right. Andrew, Lizzo apologizes for accusing Postmates driver of blank, blank, blank.
I'm going to say backseat driving.
Backseat driving.
You don't want a driver who's doing backseat driving. That's just cocky.
You should be
Where
doing
he's
it
like,
from
you know
the
what
front
I should
seat."
do? I should do this thing. You should do it if you were driving. You can't. I'm driving.
Okay, also, like, for the record, who's Lizzo?
She's a very big
Is it?
pop singer right now.
Okay.
She's
Yeah.
a soul pop singer.
I was like, could
Yeah.
be
Blame
Elizabeth
Blame it on
Warren.
my juice, blame
Could
it,
be. Who
blame it
played
on
the?
my-
How many
who played
podcast
Cleopatra
awards
years
has
ago?
she won?
Probably
She had like a necklace line for a while. Who played Cleopatra? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Elizabeth something or other. You know,
I think it was Elizabeth Warren.
no, well, maybe that's Lizzo. Yeah,
Okay.
good old Lizzo.
I think it's some version of doxing. I'm gonna say like revealing her address or sending unauthorized photo.
I'm going to need one answer, please.
Revealing her address.
Okay, revealing address. All right. Science computers pretty quick.
We actually have a confirmation 0 podcast awards in your face, Lizzo. Boom.
All right, reporting from HuffPost.com, Lizzo apologizes for accusing Postmates driver of stealing her food.
Wow.
So who won?
Oh, that one's Justin by a late food delivery. The initial tweet read, "Hey at Postmates, this girl Tiffany W stole my food. She lucky I don't fight no more."
I'll tell you what, man. What a weird time the early days of Twitter was when, man, there was this time that we were going to shoot a Scam School episode and a venue was booked and somebody was just being sassy at the bar and didn't like the fact that we were the only people in there who were there and we're bringing in all this equipment and somebody decides to assert authority or whatever and then starts implying that maybe we should pay for the venue or whatever and it's like none of us had anything to do with booking this venue, none of us are here or whatever, but it was early enough in the Twitter days that I was just like this is before I understood or society had decided how terrible a thing this was to do. I just sent like 6 tweets out. We're there to shoot a thing, and the dude says he wants money. And then I just like in my mind, what I wrote was all caps, bury them, and then linked to their Yelp. Like,
Yeah.
You bombed someone.
I mean, this is before it was known what an awful thing to do that was.
Well,
I don't know how recent it was. That for the historians. All I know is that Brian immediately regretted it and started calling people because at that point you could not delete tweets from the mobile app.
Ooh.
So I got a frantic call saying, "Hey, if I just like give you my past, are by a computer, can you delete these tweets? Because I think I might have like gotten into a possible actionable lawsuit with this shit bar."
Yeah. Also, fuck those guys.
Here's my thing about Twitter. Everything we know about history, like probably 85% of everything we know about history is just junk people left behind by accidents, like broken pottery shards and things, which means that in the future, they're going to understand us based on all the asinine stuff that we're currently putting on Twitter.
But specifically, the stuff that nobody bothered to delete.
Yeah.
Because that means anything that is actually like, ooh, that's bad.
Oh,
let's
so it'll just be it'll be the absolute dreck. that
Exactly.
manages to
The
be the
garbagiest
touchstone
of the
future.
garbage.
Yep.
all right. That's a point to Justin there. We're going to go to round 2. And Andrew, we're going to start with you. Here's your headline. From People.com, Millie Bobby Brown apologizes for blank, 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 blank in recent video.
Oh, man, that Millie Bobby Brown, he or she's always getting into trouble. All right.
Millie Bobby Brown apologizes for
this is a
6
great
blanks.
This is a great little side action segment.
Do I have to say 6 things
yeah,
specifically? Like I've got to get my word count right as well?
All right, look, no. You can get your word count, but I do want to know whether or not you and you or Brian know who Millie Bobby Brown is. Between you get 11 guesses.
Oh,
well, I'm going to say a famous
first
jazz
of all,
singer.
no. I'm almost certain that's the girl from Stranger Things with the
That's right, 11.
the hair and the.
What did you?
blood.
Okay, I thought it was a jazz singer from the 20s. I was like, well
Sorry.
done, Millie Bobby Brown, for still going strong. Okay, all right. So it's the young lady from Stranger
By the way,
Things.
just because you look like the overserved patron at the Cotton Club doesn't mean that everybody's a 1920s jazz singer.
He's what was that movie with Christopher Reeve where he goes back in time just by dressing like an old timey person, and then it gets
then he
ruined
looks at
because
a penny
the
and it
penny
throws
is
him
from
off.
1970.
Yeah. Okay, Millie Bobby Brown. I'm going to say apologizes for having an affair with entire cast of Stranger Things.
Oh God.
Wow.
I think most of whom are 18 now. I don't know how this works.
I think they're all still.
Are they? Well, she should really apologize then, shouldn't she?
That double down.
All right.
I think she's under 18, or as we like to refer to
okay, yeah.
business, Drake's favorite. Just Google it.
You
All right.
used to call me on my Playmobil phone. All right, Brian.
One more time, that title.
Millie Bobby Brown apologizes for blank in recent video. In a follow-up Instagram post, Brown said, "I'm still learning the best way to share my routines as I get to know this space better. I'm not an expert."
Share my routines.
He's just doing a Don Rickles insult act.
Okay.
Which person is on first base?
Okay. Apologizes for blank, and it's a
Hey,
routine.
you don't need to fill all the blanks. You know this.
Okay. Okay, got it. Shitty Dove act at Magic Convention.
Oh, I so hope this is 100% it. I will name my kid Night Attack if this is it.
At Texas Society of Magicians.
All right, Juice, round us out. Millie Bobby Brown apologizes for blank in recent video.
So 5 blanks?
6 blanks.
6.
6 blanks.
6 blanks.
Millie Bobby Brown apologizes for culturally inappropriate dancing that was racist.
I'm just going to write racist here at the bottom. Here. All right. This is from people.com.
Your trusted news source for information about people. We go now to people.com.
Millie Bobby Brown has apologized for pretending to apply her skincare products in a recent video. She was doing a video.
What?
She was doing a video. She's got a
Wait,
line
why
of
are people
skincare.
mad?
She's got a line of skincare products, and she did a video.
Oh, she's not the one I was thinking of. She's a different one. Okay, that's
A different
number...
one?
Huh?
Sorry.
I thought it was the one that was dating Charlie Heaton, who I might be related to, because of the surname. But no, that's the older. You know who I'm talking about? The older one that like she's a journalist for a bit in the series.
This is not her.
The older sister. The older sister.
Yeah, the older sister. But okay, now this is the young one that
very
was
young
the psychic one.
conceived
Yeah,
on
yeah.
acid.
Yeah.
Is the one we're talking about.
Yeah.
And she's in trouble because she basically did lip syncing with makeup.
No, she advertised a beauty product and only pretended to use it and not actually use it. Is that right?
That's right, exactly. People watch the video, and there's a point where she says, "Oh, okay, now I've wiped it off," and very clearly it's not wiped off at all. She's kind of going through the motions of this thing instead of actually using it, which is a very lazy way to get in trouble.
Well,
Well, no, but it actually is because now 30% of our modern economy is Instagram influencers, and so now the trade elements of our government need to actually regulate what 13-year-olds are doing to sell makeup and I don't know, thumbtacks, whatever the fuck they're trying to pitch.
Wait, I'll go hard on this one. I think the death penalty should be used. It's just you can't abuse people's trust like that.
No, but,
right.
like now, like literally, like the Federal Trade Commission will come down on like the Kardashians because they're not like properly labeling or
hashtag ad is a real thing. Look, there's a reason, and what's funny is it's different in different areas. For example, every episode of The Modern Rogue has to begin with this episode of The Modern Rogue brought to you by Patreon or whatever. But like you watch something that originates outside of the U.S., like the Kurzgesagt, I can never say it, the In a Nutshell videos. No FTC disclosures. They're all like, you're watching editorial content that at some point is like, anyway, that's why you need this product. And it's really weird.
But I can still sell herbal supplements, right? I don't have to run this through anybody. I could just,
Oh, yeah, those are natural.
You could
Okay,
sell
yeah,
those
yeah,
under the
100%,
table to me right now.
they're from God's earth. That they only obey God's law.
All right, here we go. Let's do this one. This is from HuffPost. Here we go. Give it down. Zach Galifianakis apologizes for calling Bradley Cooper a blank blank. Zach Galifianakis apologizes for calling Bradley Cooper a blank blank. We're going to start with Brian.
Yeah.
Do you know who both of these people are?
Let's get the more information here. Stop withholding.
Okay. From Huffington Post, quote, "I don't want to hurt people, but I do want to make them feel weird. There's a fine line there," Galifianakis said. "Cooper just laughed. He doesn't care. He's good-natured that way." Cooper doesn't appear in the new film, which debuted Friday on Netflix.
Yeah, no, I remember this bit because he was doing an Australian and he said, "Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Bradley Cooper, hey, he's a right cunt." That's what he said.
That's what he said. Oh,
Yeah.
It's weird
And
how
then
he
he-
takes on a terrible Australian accent when he visits Australia. Like he gets this weird, like B-level Cockney accent when he goes to Melbourne.
I'm sorry. Are you a right cunt too? It's me,
Yeah,
Zach
yeah.
Galifianakis.
He did this sort of dime store Winston Churchill.
I got two fists. One of them's named fuck and the other's named cunt. Broden.
Justin's
It was
facepalm
like
is
watching like a pop gun in slow motion. Like, as soon as he did the Australian accent, it was just like, oh, it's the C word. C word's coming. C word. And a slow like
It's the only context left where that word is acceptable.
cut. Like it just popped out right there.
Jiff.
All right. Juice. So I'm gonna say, get your answer is right cunt. Is it? If I heard that correctly,
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Justin.
Sure.
Zach Galifianakis apologizes for calling Bradley Cooper a blank blank.
A cheap asshole.
What kind of asshole are you?
Oh, who's this? This is Zach Galifianakis.
Zach
Why are you still here?
Galifianakis. You're some kind of cheap asshole.
It's
Sorry.
the best Zach Galifianakis impression I've ever heard in my life. If Zach Galifianakis were extorting the British to fight the Germans when they land,
You know, I heard about the
we will
Germans.
fight them in South Carolina or in England. I don't know wherever I'm from exactly. We'll fight them, and the hangover will be good in the first and third form. And
It's a little sly. It's a little sly Stallone on that one.
It is. Yeah.
hold on, before I give my answer,
Sure.
Zach Galifianakis bought me my first beer in college. True story. He came.
Did I?
He
I
showed
don't
up.
remember doing that.
He came with Mitch Hedberg, who was alive at the time, and
Hey, it's me. I just came back from Australia. It's Mitch Hedberg.
yeah, he
He's
was
alive.
smoking that cigar, and he had like
Smoking
a
a
Tommy gun.
cigar. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
I
No,
was
but
there.
Mitch Hedberg did, but Mitch Hedberg was clearly high, and I was kind of irritated with him because he didn't.
No, don't mind me. She's high, Broden.
And then I went, I'm going to go find that other guy. I'm going to find that bearded guy. And I walked downhill and I found him. And I went, hey, I really enjoyed your program. And I really like your stand-up comedy. And he went,
You're
thanks,
right,
man.
cunt.
No, he went, thanks, man. Where's your liquor store? And I walked him to the liquor store.
No
and,
shit.
And then he went, oh, so you're probably under 21. You want a drink or something? And I went, yeah. And I'd only ever had one. I'd had like some like sweet Italian liquor called like Italian
How
di
old were
Giuri
you
or
at the
something.
time?
I was like 19, I think.
Oh, what? Wow.
And I
All
went,
right,
yeah,
boys, come on in.
could you get me a bottle of this?
All right. You've
Italiano
denied it.
di Giuri or whatever. And he went, yeah, man. And he came back out and he takes a Tecate off of his six-pack and goes, here's a Tecate. And he just walks away. It was very impressive.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never gave an underage drink to a man, never. This is me, Zach.
Bryce, I
This is
got
great.
my
This is
answer.
some good. Andrew, please.
So hold on. Can you give me the prompt again?
Absolutely. Zach Galifianakis apologizes for calling Bradley Cooper a blank blank.
Raging Fuck-muppet. Now, real quick, I want to clear with this. Fuck-muppet's a hyphenate or a portmanteau. One of the two. Either way, raging's one word and Fuck-muppet's the second word. Got it.
All right. This is.
Turns out, I swear to God, if the real answer is fan of Tecate or Tecate fan, that's going to be amazing.
Here we go. From Huffington Post, Zach Galifianakis apologizes for calling Bradley Cooper a hot idiot.
What?
It's
a compliment. I would take that right now as a compliment.
I mean, look, I don't know what science has to say. Seems to me like science might have to take some time to decide.
I mean, that one, you got to really grind on that. I mean, these are really close, right? Because we had right cunt, we had cheap asshole.
asshole.
Yeah, I kind of feel like a jerk now, given where my mind went to.
Let me go.
His was half compliment, half kind of insult.
We were all very close, but we need to all do right now because the computer doesn't work if anybody's talking. So we all need to stay very silent as the computer, the science computer, works through all the data.
Yeah, let me go turn the computer on. Click.
It sounds like a hand crank computer. It's one of those old. Sorry,
Thank you.
I
Now it
apologize.
has
I'm
to
sorry,
start
I'm
all
sorry.
over from the beginning. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I apologize.
The right cunt. Now we have to do it all over again. Turn on the science computer. Heaton, Jesus. Here we go. The science computer is going to work through.
Click.
I
hey,
think
there
it's
we go.
done.
We got a printout right here. Brian with the answer right cunt gets the point.
Broden. Dude, that's awesome.
All right.
So Raging Fuck-muppet went too far or not far enough? Because I feel like Raging Fuck-muppet actually trumps right cunt. Like in terms of the Scottish hierarchy of swearing, right cunt's like a 5, Raging Fuck-muppet's like a 7 or an 8. So I just want due credit that I probably went the farthest.
Hot idiot is like a 4.
Yeah, hot idiot's like a 2. Ugh.
Yeah. All right, we got a few more here. We're gonna start with Justin. Justin, you ready for this?
Yo, let's go.
All right. School apologizes for spray painting blank blank to target tardiness. Boop, 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 bum,
Let
bum.
me go ahead and get the info. What are
Absolutely.
the deets?
This is per ABC 3340. Shelby Campbell says her mom filed a formal complaint with the district on Friday. She says the principal left a school-wide voicemail and left an email explaining they corrected the problem. The headline, School apologizes for spray painting blank blank to target tardiness.
Can I give you a
Broken
hint?
home.
Can I give you just a little bit of hint to help you out, Justin?
Oh.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
No. Okay.
No, keep trying it. It might work.
No, I really like this. It's like a didgeridoo that just repeats the last thing that somebody said.
Justin, the school apologizes for spray painting blank blank to target tardiness.
Broken homes.
Broken homes. Okay. So they first must have to determine which homes are broken, I suppose, but that's
they're-
not for me to
come
decide.
on, they know who's showing up late. It's not the one with both parents.
All right, Andrew. School apologizes for spray painting blank blank to target tardiness.
Tardy students. They can readily identify them. It teaches them a lesson at the same time. I hardly endorse this policy. I don't think they should have apologized at all.
Oh, okay. Well, nobody.
They just spray paint the actual like an artistic rendering of a tardy student.
No, they come in late and they're like, all right, close your eyes, Brian.
Wow, right in the eyes.
Yeah, it's silver like in that Mad Max film you like. Now go sit down and be here next time on time.
Shiny and chrome.
Brian, the school apologizes for spray painting blank blank to target tardiness.
School lockers.
School lockers. Nice.
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
All right. Well, we've actually got an image here of the thing that they spray painted. This is per ABC 3340. School apologizes for spray painting bathroom mirrors to target tardiness.
How does that target tardy? Sorry.
Well, guys, I could field this one. See, the problem is that most tardy people are vampires. And what they realized was if we make opaque mirrors, they won't try and see the reflection anymore, and it confuses them normally because they're like, where am I? I'm looking at a mirror. But if it's opaque, they're like, I'll just go to class, learn about algebra.
It seems legit to me.
Apparently, just the idea that students were hanging out in the bathrooms too much.
Okay, so there's
It's
two
just a
parts to this.
fucking School for birds? Like what? Like they have an inability to pull themselves away from the mirror?
So there's a whole very viral Facebook post, but apparently the new principal at the school is very strict. Painted over the mirrors, no more pep rallies, fewer advisory classes, dress code changes. Shelby even says here, even prisons have mirrors, which I believe is correct. So,
This is like a double whammy. It's insane that they thought that this would stop tardiness.
that's right.
And then it's insane that they felt the need to apologize. In a world where every single one of these motherfucking students has a fucking cell phone
exactly.
camera.
They got
They're-
smartphones. That's
you
what I
want to
was
look
thinking.
at yourself? Take a look at yourself, man. Wait, we ain't here to show you yourself.
I mean, what kind of dude who's clearly never got jerked off at the sock hop is this guy? Like there's no way that the thing that he thinks are going on in the bathroom is what's going on in the bathroom with the youth today. They're all trying to trade dirty bootleg jewel pods and figuring out who got the hottest shit on Wish.com while they play Minecraft on their fucking Galaxy Notes.
You know, what he should have done is if he could, can you make cell phone signal blockers? Are those commercially available? Because if you
Not
put that-
legally, but sure.
well, okay. Well, then just do that at the school. Buy that, and don't let them access the Pokemon and the Snapchat with the naked pictures and all that, and then they'll learn about algebra.
Dude, I just want to know
Sounds
what
easy.
like somebody's taking a dump and they're like, well, I mean, I know algebra starts in 5 minutes, but let me just take a look at old handsome over here. 1 minute, 2 minutes, I got plenty of time. What? The bell's rung again?
All I'm saying is that if you've never butt chugged a White Claw, then you shouldn't be the principal at a public school.
What is a
Oh,
white
a
claw?
white claw, a white claw,
That
right?
sounds like some kind of pastry.
You're close.
It's a hard seltzer.
It's a hard
You know what I read is I was looking at the Guardian the other day, and I read that there are students in high school, and they're taking shots of vodka and they're holding it up to their eye and drinking it through their eye socket.
Right.
And I was like, you should just wait 45 seconds like a regular person with a shot. What's wrong with you? How many family members have been devoured by bears? Anyway, that's my news contribution to this thing.
We so rarely bury one of our
You know
guests.
What's great is the delay on the applause made it so much worse.
I thought I hit it, but I guess I didn't. I got a protector on this new phone, so. And
Who won?
science has told us that Brian gets a point now.
Heyo!
We have a couple more here, and we're going to go into a double points round. The current standing is Brian has 3 points, Justin has 1 point, and Andrew Heaton has 1 point.
Somebody already suggested the show title. Please clap.
The Cato Kalin and Jeb Bush of your rotating co-hosts.
All right.
We're going to start. Who did we start with that on that last one? Was it Justin? Yeah, it was. All right, Andrew, we're going to start with you on this one.
All right.
Twitter apologizes for blank, blank, blank campaign in the streets of San Francisco. Twitter apologizes for blank, blank, blank campaign in the streets of San Francisco. And yes, Justin will be going last on this one.
Truly eliminate homelessness. Truly.
That's 4 words, but that's fine.
You know what I'm getting at here. They were advocating murdering homeless people.
Eliminate homelessness. All right, Brian. Twitter apologizes for blank, blank, blank campaign in the streets of San Francisco. In fact, we got a Twitter response. We looked into what happened and identified breakdowns in the process for meeting the city's requirements for this. We are sorry for that this happened. They messed it up too.
Man, I was going to say crush that puss, but now it doesn't sound like that fits.
The classic "Crush That Puss" campaign that advertises.
Yeah. All right, so Twitter wanted to do something. What was the quote again?
Yeah, Twitter apologizes.
Here's all I know is that Brian's first show outside of the confines of his house has included an exponential lift. As soon as he's not within earshot of his wife and 3 daughters, it's just pussy on left and right.
Yeah, it's like, so my official answer becomes show your dick. That was the campaign.
Got to round it out. That's affirmative action, y'all. Twitter apologizes for blank, blank, blank campaign in the streets of San Francisco.
I don't know. Show your dick sounds like it lands.
Just the stem. Just the stem.
Just the ooh. Is show your dick really your answer? My
I
man?
mean, I might as
Come on.
well be. I got no other idea.
All right, sure.
I
I have to write down.
I mean, wait, like the actual thing that they should be doing is a campaign called "Think Twice Tweet." But of course, that's not anything they're ever gonna do. You know what? Their campaign was called "Tweet First." What's that?
Is
It's
it
probably
2
more
words or 3
dramatic
words?
Than be best.
It's 3 words. It's
Can I
3
change
words.
mine? Tweet while drunk.
Sure.
Drink, then tweet.
Oh, that's better. Never mind. I'll stick with the killing homeless guys.
Okay, I'll go drink, then tweet. I'm gonna steal yours.
Oh, no. People need to pick an answer and stick with it, all right?
Yeah, I'll stick with the murder one.
For Andrew.
I saw one that was like Murder a Hobo Day or something. I'm going to take that from
Settle down, you pussy cunts.
Drink, then tweet. All right, and Justin, do you actually know this one, my mans?
I don't actually know.
Can I ever so slightly tweak my answer?
Come on, my
It's 3 words with a period in between each of them. Their slogan was drink, tweet, drive. Turns out it was a bad idea. They've apologized for it. That's my
for 2
official
points,
answer.
right? All right, Justin, no more modifications. Justin.
You're drinking. Step 1, drink a lot. Step 2, tweet, I'm drunk. Step 3, drive away. It's perfect ride.
Twitter apologizes for blank, blank, blank campaign in the streets of San Francisco. Juice, where you at?
Gambling Man, who is also a Bay Area guy, says that I've seen this. I don't. It's very likely that I have seen it. I don't know if I can think of it offhand, but it is Twitter that's apologizing for it, right?
Correct. Twitter, the
Um,
company.
Yeah, Twitter said we love tweets.
Money.
We love money. Clean that poop. Well, let's go with clean that poop.
Why would they apologize for that?
Oh,
You're
I
you know
shave
what?
your goats.
That was
That's good.
too harsh of a position we took.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
So you're just to be clear, your answer is clean that poop.
I just no. Retweet health, friend.
All right, retweet.
Why
help,
would they
friend.
apologize for retweet health, friend?
They just I don't know because it
I know.
turned out that-
It was subscribe to PewDiePie. That was their campaign.
unsubscribe from T-Series.
True tweet like Trump.
All right, this is from Ad Age. I'm sorry, Ad Week. Twitter apologizes for stencil and chalk campaign in the streets of San Francisco.
Why would you apologize for that?
Yeah, but like, what's the campaign for?
It's a campaign for Twitter. So there's a
So,
huge...
so they used non-permanent graffiti that washes away, and to my knowledge has no immediate environmental impact, and they're apologizing for that?
Well, they also used public sidewalks to advertise their product, which is a no-no in San Francisco. And
Okay.
so...
That is valuable real estate for a lot of companies that have a ton of money. So if one that has a lot of money is trying to do it without paying the old tax man.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's valuable real estate
No,
for people to lay a cross and stop me as I try to walk through hate
In
Ashbury.
my mind, the only chalk that should be used in public places is to outline bodies as part of the "Sorry We Killed Homeless People" campaign. So I'm with him. They should have apologized for this.
So actually, with his answer of retweet health friends, Justin gets the 2 points on that one. Oh, wait,
Hey!
Just like that. That's all there is to
I
it.
would have given you a bonus point if you kept with your We Heart Tweets campaign answer because
It was actually close to We Heart Tweet.
it was very close because they're all about like people's tweets saying that Twitter is good. All right, it's our
Right.
final round.
Oh, I think it was football. That now Facebook, all of Facebook's ads are all like you don't know they're an ad for Facebook. It's just like people loving each other and connecting on some like popular song, and then at the very end they're like, "You do that shit on Facebook. Sorry, don't hate us. Bye." There's one who was like, it was all about the Walking in Memphis song, and it was just like a bunch of people from around the world singing the Walking in Memphis song, and then at the very end it's like, hey, they shared it on a app on Facebook. Bye. Hey, Facebook. Bye. Hey, we're not ruining shit. All right? Get away from me. I'm saying you like the song, right? The song, us. Bye. Bye.
You see the new? We talked about this on Cord Killers. The cameras they want you to put on your TV for Facebook.
Oh my God, yeah, those Facebook portals where it's just like, look, guys, I know we have a reputation for violating all your privacy, but we swear, just let us put just one more camera. This time in your kitchen, maybe also in your living room. It's gonna be cool. You'll still see your grandmother.
Insanity. All right, it's our final round here. We are at 3 to 1 point. Andrew, you're not out of the game just
Hold
yet.
on, wait. Is this a double round? Can I make it back?
Not only is this a double round, it's a triple round.
So I can still win this.
Anybody can still win this game.
Okay. All right. I've got a lot of money riding on this. So.
All right. In fact, Andrew, you're going to start first.
Okay.
Oh, where's my sounder?
Thank you.
God, I would love it if AM radio ran this way. Like, just 2 seconds silences. We're like, oh, hold on. And then the Fox
Everybody
News alert.
hold.
I mean, by the way, for Anthony's knowledge, it does. You just think that you drove under a power line.
Andrew, we're starting with you here. Officer fired after arresting blank, blank, blank. Chief apologizes to families.
Officer fired after arresting blank, blank, blank. Chief apologizes to families.
That's right.
Can
Or-
you read some of the story for me?
Of course, Orlando Chief of Police Orlando Roland.
Hold on, wait. So just to be clear on this is in Florida. Please continue.
That's right.
Does alter the landscape,
Yeah,
does it not?
Absolutely correct. It is apparently the chief of police in Orlando is named Orlando. That seems crazy to me. Oh, you know what? This might be in Carolina. This might be another Orlando.
Hold on.
Orlando, South Carolina?
Oh no, I'm sorry. This is being reported on by CBS 17, which is Raleigh, Durham, Fayetteville. But
Wait, is this a bit? Are you intentionally trying to word salad us and mess us up? What's going on?
it's Florida.
Yeah, hey, what kind of pussy cunt shit are you trying to pull?
Oh,
It's Florida, it's Florida. Shut up,
I
shut
had
up,
my
it's
way,
Florida.
Broden.
It is Florida. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Local news pulls this stuff off the wire. It is Florida. One more time. Officer fired after arresting blank, blank, blank. Chief apologizes to families. The Orlando Chief of Police, Orlando Roland, said in a press conference, quote, as the Chief of Police, one of the top priorities is to earn and protect the trust between the community and its officers. Because of this incident, the trust has been put in question.
Okay, and I'm sorry. One more time, the headline?
Absolutely. Officer fired after arresting blank, blank, blank. Chief apologizes to families.
Officer fired after arresting insufficiently sexy pedestrians.
Look, man, I think you're heading in the right direction, but you missed the key word, Florida. I'll tell you how you finish this headline. Shirtless alligator bath salts.
Shirtless alligator bath salts. All right. Justin, hit us with that science. Hit us with that Florida science. Officer fired after arresting blank, blank, blank. Chief apologizes to families.
Drug dealers cheetah.
Too realistic.
Folks, I'm going to give you one more try at this one.
No, you will not. This is going to be the science computer's greatest challenge yet.
Yeah, crank it up to 11, man. I want to hear that thing running at full power. Overclock it past the safe
All right,
level.
Guys, we all need to be on the same page here, all right? So not only can none of us talk, but nobody can write in the chat room. This has to be absolute still silence.
Chat room quiet as well. We never done this before. Everybody.
Never done this. We never done. In fact, all you can do is type periods. Like literally just like 3 periods in a row. I need Waffleophagus fucking elbow out of the shot. Like we need to make sure that
Everybody, eyes right on your camera. Right on your camera.
Yeah, let me turn it on. Click.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Winslow, live in studio.
it's never run this hot, Brian.
This
Let
is
it
the
be
most
the
ellipses I've ever seen since an NPR marathon.
It's almost there. It's almost there. Jeez, what a feat.
Incredible.
Thank you to everybody in the chat room.
Thank you, everybody.
Everybody. Oh, my good God.
From CBS17.com, officer fired after arresting 6-year-olds. Chief apologizes to family.
That's pretty much head.
No, I almost the other one I was going to use was racially diverse toddler. That was the secondary. Like seriously, that was the second thing I was going to use. So I came up later.
Alligator bath salts, though. I mean, it could be the name of the 6-year-old.
Drug dealer's cheetah. But do we know that they weren't hanging with a drug dealer's cheetah?
So what did they arrest him for?
For
being tardy.
being rowdy in a school. 2 kids were just.
Wait, 6-year-olds?
rowdy.
How rowdy can 6-year-olds get? You have 6-year-olds. You've had.
Have you ever been to Florida?
Because schools have cops now. Schools have these, the community resource cops, basically. And so just whoever this guy was like, hey, my way of dealing with you kids is arresting you and booking you.
All right. Look, in my opinion, if you've never butt chugged a White Claw, you should be a community resource officer at a school.
And of course, I've got the. Oh, here we go. I got my printout right here. With 4 points, it's Justin Robert Young.
I'm sure there's nothing suspicious about the Florida man winning on the Florida man-based question.
Hold on, computer. I would like to hold on. So I got 1. I'm going to lose this either way.
Okay.
I would like
Yeah.
to appeal the decision of the computer and be given a bonus point for raging Fuck-muppet. I think that was a really good answer.
Sure, you know
I'm
what?
not defending any of my other answers except raging Fuck-muppet. In fact, I will exchange the first one for 2 points on raging Fuck-muppet, or just 1 point for that matter.
Yeah, why not? Andrew and Justin both win.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to win.
Wait,
I
is
just
that
want
how that
more
works?
credit
We
on
just
raging
asked?
Fuck-muppet.
All right, it's fine. It's fine. Congratulations.
You, Andrew. It's an honor.
Thank you. This is how the Olympics works. If you could just go, listen, judges, Tanya Harding, swell lady. However, I think that I did a pretty good pirouette.
Man,
Just help me out.
don't even give
We
me...
all remember that moment that at the Olympics, Jesse Owens walked to the judges stand and said,
Listen, did you see that was pretty swanky running?
I was pretty fast. They're like, well, but your time is like, watch us. Am I right? Yeah, come on. You
Give
saw
me
that
medal
for
says
the-
what? Give me medal says what?
Gold medalist says what? Hey, man, shall we take a moment and do a little bit of diamond time?
yes, indeed, Brian. Diamond Time is where you can shout out your project right here. Head on over to diamondclub.reddit.com or reddit.com/r/diamondclub. The sticky post at the top of the page is where you need to go. Top 3, get read. And by the way, as I look here, we are only 2 deep. So if somebody wants to get in a real quick entry, then you're going to get read ASAP. But we begin with Sign. Hey, D-Club. So I'm not a complete failure, and I've successfully released a new episode of Virtual Log. This time we dive into the Matrix Online, speaking with one of the lead developers, exploring the story and hearing tales of players fucking shit up for the production team, potentially costing millions in damage. Also, it's a great story about how a racist got their ass handed to them in the game by way of Lawrence Fishburne. Please listen, subscribe, rate, and review everywhere podcasts be at. A full list can be found at virtuallog.syne.com.
Got an email here from Gambling Man that says, 3rd time's the charm for a shout out. My friends and I released another episode of our wackety comedy Gary Shandling style talk show called Night Access. It's got that nostalgic public access 3-camera setup, but with the zaniest of a Comedy Central show. So please check out the full episode on YouTube at bit.ly/Night Access is back. And damn if it doesn't look exactly like cable access. This is amazing.
They've nailed the public access.
But I think outside of Seinfeld, the program with the highest ratings is Night Studio, which is our program, or it was our program in the 90s.
Oh, you had something like this going?
And we had to change the name
Oh, I didn't know that.
to Night Access because NBC, we had to shift it to CBS. And there was sort of a legal mess.
By the way, he's
and,
getting a straight razor shave while this
ensuing
conversation
sort
is
of
happening. If the audio listeners
fallout.
With
One
cherubic
of the things we don't
pictures.
talk about is the sweet life of television is you do get those sweet razor
For
shaves.
a while now. And yeah, we told ourselves as soon as this...
Oh, this is amazing.
That's the gag. That's the gag. Go back to that.
Oh.
Oh,
And
goddamn.
yeah,
All
we
right,
told
pause.
ourselves as soon as this show honest to God, stop being fun, we'd give it like 8 more years, and then that's it.
That's so good. Check it out, everybody. What's the link again?
Bit.ly/Night Access is back.
Teaser.
And by the way, if you're not familiar, in their last season, there was a guest of a very socialist lumberjack that looks and sounds a lot like me. So if you like that idea, but you want to see an episode with me in it, go ahead and find the Night Access channel. And finally, our third is from Hot Beverages, who writes, "Butts. Friends, if you want your programs or projects shouted out right here on this very show, then head on over to reddit.com/r/Diamond Club or diamondclub.reddit.com. Top 3 get read each and every week."
All right, so this is the part where we usually talk about the movie draft minute, but we just talked about the movie draft. Who knows how it's going to go? Head on over to draft.diamondclub.tv/forum and play in the chat realm league. In the meantime, let's do some emails.
Oh yeah,
let's do some E.
What's the thing that we got to do? Where do we got to go?
Well, we should go to the Diamond Club.
Join us for drinks in the Diamond Club.
In the Diamond Club.
Oh no.
Sounds grand.
Is the audio not
grand?
No, you're good. You just didn't hear it, sorry, Justin. Sorry, I didn't have it routed right. That's super, super grand. Let's check out some of our emails, including this one from Stephen Coxwell.
All right, for the record, you guys at home don't see how the sausage is made. You might, if you're listening on audio, assume that he's looking for a particular email. I'm literally watching him scroll idly up and down, picking like it's from a goddamn roulette wheel. Like,
I don't have a way to mark these as the ones I'm going to use, so I forgot that they were at the top.
You're coasting on free coupons. You set up this studio over the weekend, and so you get nothing but free passes. So you do you, man.
All right, we got an email here from Stephen Cogswell, our friend. He writes, "Hello, here's a mailbag thing for the mailbag. All's Well, a Night Attack album was released almost exactly 8 months ago on January 23rd. Can we get an update? Thank you for your time, Stephen Cogswell." Hey, that's the guy who did the album.
Man, there's updates that I'm sworn to secrecy on that Justin won't allow me.
Yeah. No, we can't talk about it because it's a process. But we are the entire process of All's Well was a honoring of the amazing work of the man who wrote that email, Stephen Cogswell, who made all the best parts of that album, i.e. the songs, and makes a song for this show every single week. And all we can hope for is that there is more glory yet in store.
Well, and even if what we're currently working on doesn't come to fruition, we have an alternate interesting thing to do. So either way, there will be more updates. Just now's not the right time to share. But my goodness, are we ever proud of the incredible work of our number one superfan, amazing talent extraordinaire, international superstar, Stephen Cogswell, AWTFY. And man, we can't wait to hopefully talk more about his work.
You want to know what my favorite thing about coming out with an album was this year, Brian? The fact that we actually came out with an album and didn't just talk about recording it like Ice Cream.
Didn't you guys hit #1 on iTunes?
We were
On
the
iTunes.
number one best-selling
On Amazon.
MP3 album on all of Amazon. Full stop.
Kudos.
Yeah, we got very high on iTunes. We were on top of the comedy charts for a very long time.
All right, here's a fun game. It's called Did We Outsell Them? Name an artist. Yes.
Bjork.
Absolutely.
Okay. Kudos.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yes.
Holly Mindy.
Yes.
What was the name of the
Hall & Oates, yes.
Yeah, Hall & Oates.
Yep.
Falling Oats.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Louis C.K., yep.
Louis C.K.
Billy Bob Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown for sure.
Yeah, that one.
Bobby Brown?
Bobby Brown.
Yeah. Millie
Whitney
Bobby
and
Brown.
Whitney Houston.
Seascape.
Yep.
Good.
That
Secret.
Dreamweaver
I
song.
panicked and I made that one up.
Yep.
You probably.
Hey, Heaton. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Philip.
Philip who?
Philip Glass. I was outsold by Night Attack in January. Knock knock.
Knock,
Well
knock.
done. Good callback.
Oh my goodness. If you guys haven't listened to it and you're unfamiliar, the album is, Stephen Cogswell, of course, makes all these beautiful gems of songs out of just random ass clips from our podcast. And goddamn, they're good. It's so much fun.
Please go check it out.
If you're a fan of the show, if you're not a fan of the show, if you just want to hear people having a blast and hear some delightful music, listen to All's Well, a Night Attack album.
Hey, and guess what? It's still $2. Turns out.
Hells yeah.
Very nice. All right, we got one more email here from. Oh, I lost my emails. Where did I put my emails? But my emails! Here we go. From Bradley. Bradley kind of wrote a little bit of a long email here, but I'm gonna.
Can you do it in a British accent?
No, I absolutely cannot.
Can you use the computer? Maybe I can fix it.
Yeah, do it like Stephen Hawking.
I'm already having to
Before
read
you
it very. So this is College My Path.
For those of you guys who missed it, man, oh man. Look, Justin and I are not setting out to be the guys who rail on college, but we are gathering a reputation very fast.
The short version is in high school, it was ingrained into Bradley that he would go to his parents' alma mater, Point Loma Nazarene, but he ended up skipping and joining a Spanish circus called Circus de Carlo, which the LA Times called a barrio circus. He also did not speak any Spanish at the time, but he ended up making it work. Let's see. He went to Pasadena Community College, paid for each semester himself with no loans, got general education out of the way, and then went to Azusa Pacific University because his mother worked there, so he actually got like a discount. In '93, he got a degree and found out he was actually overqualified for a bunch of work and ended up applying as a janitor.
Is this a job application for work at the studio?
I think it's
just sharing,
sketching out an alternate path from colleges. And by the way,
Right.
as somebody who also ran off and joined the circus, I toured for a week and a half with the Bindlestiff Family Circus. We went out to the West Coast. It was one of the first gigs I did after quitting my day job.
No kidding. I didn't realize you were. I knew you were doing like attached to all the country band tour stuff, but I didn't know that you were actually doing.
Yeah,
circusy stuff.
it was in that first year when I quit my day job and Bonnie was like, I'll keep the lights on. You got 1 year to figure this shit out. And I'm like, well, the Bindlestiff Family Circus will give me, I think it was like $75 a day or something. And no, per gig. And that's not even per day.
Oh, that's not every day.
And they'll
That's-
cover meals. So I hopped in my Jeep Grand Cherokee and drove all the way to the West Coast and did shows in I believe, Arizona and San Diego and then up to 2 or 3 parts in LA. It was an amazing experience. It's one of my most valued times. It was crazy.
Yeah, and to Bradley's credit, he mentions he did a number of jobs. He ended up at Earthlink, and now is in the financial industry. He never had a solid plan. Quote, always just landed where I could and doing what I liked.
I think there's value to that, and I'm probably not going to advise my kids to intentionally not think about their future, but I think there's really value to when you don't assume you know where you're headed, your default position becomes to listen for opportunity. And I would encourage everybody who feels like they're adrift or whatever to look for opportunity. And if you're flexible, some people are stringent. They're like, no, I want to work on the video games. It's like, okay, well, do you want to work specifically in video games, or would you accept being a Hollywood animator? Would you accept doing corporate animations?
Like being creative and social and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly, right? And I think there's really something to that.
Yeah. Andrew, did you have a college path? Did you have any higher education out of high school?
Yeah, I mean, like none of it went remotely how I thought it was going to go. I have a master's from the University of Edinburgh, and I have an undergraduate from the University of Oklahoma, and it was in religious studies and history. So at the time, I thought there was a decent chance I was going to turn into a priest at some point. Because I used to be very, very devoutly Eastern Orthodox, and then I thought I'd be a congressman by now. I thought I was going to go into politics, and
really?
I ultimately decided that it was better for me to make fun of them. But no, college me would be college me would appreciate the wardrobe choice, but would not remotely understand the life path that I have gone on.
Mm-hmm. I will say that I did an interview with Andrew on PX3, and I never more understood fundamentally politicians than, Andrew, you telling your story of the track that then leads to everybody that becomes state senators, that then become national politicians, that then become the president. Normally,
It starts early. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it is a fascinating track. So everybody go,
Man,
go
I
listen.
would love alternate reality Andrew Heaton to show up, or maybe a window pops up and we see him in a priest robe and he's giving a sermon and he says, and I'll tell you, those sinners are fuck-muppets, and I deserve credit for calling them out.
Oh,
Fuck-muppets, can I get some points,
Good evening
please?
to all of you. Welcome into the congregation. Listen, we're going to talk about fuck-muppets today. Because that's the laws. You have to become Irish
the thing about
when
the
you become a
fuck-muppets is
priest.
they're always getting fisted, aren't they? Just right on up the backside.
You don't want to be a raging fuck-muppet.
The thing is, they're built
Be
that
a
way.
forgiving
That's the illusion.
Be a
fuck-muppet.
forgiving fuck-muppet.
Modern fuck muppet, right? You know, a nice, kindly, benevolent fuck muppet.
And I'll say, like, you can do both. Or there's, like, I know, I don't know how much we talked about
Well,
this, but
yeah,
like when I got out of college, I had a job adjacent to where my parents worked at. But in college was when I found about NSFW show and was a fan of it there. And I remember when you were looking for a new assistant, and that was the time when you hired Brant. And I thought, at the time, I was like, oh, I could, I'm finishing school right now. That would be a thing. That would be really interesting. It was a lot of video. There was some video work. It was, I like the podcast and stuff. And I ended up not applying or being involved in that. But I thought, well, the next time he does something, I'll try to do. And then 2 years later.
Yeah, well, and you took a big leap because there kind of was no job necessarily waiting for you.
Right, it was
just
all
so much
talking.
It was sort of me daring you to move to Austin. But in a weird way, in that moment, being in college and being committed to college closed a door to you. Whereas Brant was cooler with like, yeah, I'll jump and do this.
I suppose so. I mean,
later it worked out, but in that moment.
Actually, I don't know that I'll say that it closed. I mean, in the moment I didn't choose to do it, but also that position when Brant was picked up was not what it was when I came. Right. At the time,
it
you guys
eventually
hadn't taken
evolved
up
into
scan
something much
school,
more
right.
important.
Right. And so I don't know that I'll necessarily say that because jobs don't or businesses don't close their doors forever, right? I mean, I thought, well, it's not the right time for me, but he'll probably have something down the line. And so it's okay to think about at least realistic positions.
That was
way.
fairly realistic at the time too, because there was a pretty high burnout on that position. I mean, I remember I think we wound up going to the well like 3 times, like during like the run of NSFW show.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for the record, we're all hypocrites in this room and online together. All of us completed college, and all of us are questioning the sanctity of going to college.
I'm not questioning college. I had a good experience with it.
Here's all I'll say, and because I know I wound up getting everybody's hackles up whenever I just
everybody bunker down, hunker in.
I'm saying this. All I'm saying is this. This is my new, kinder, gentler version. Number 1, you already know all the reasons to go to college. You don't need anybody to explain to you why, right? So all I'm saying is this. Number 1, there's a loan industry set up to take advantage of the fact that you're indecisive at that age. And number 2, you're indecisive. So find a place where you know that you are being taken advantage of financially for that, and just go with your eyes open. That's all I'd say.
I'd take a gap year. Do a gap year, 100%.
Yeah.
I'd be 100%. Go to college, but take
absolutely.
a year. Go do something interesting. It'll make it easier to get into another college if you want to. And the worst case scenario is instead of spending like $40,000 getting a degree in English, you spent like $3,000 going to an ashram.
And I think we've talked about this before, but Ryan Holiday, who has written a number of my favorite books, he says, like, look, if you're going to college to get a piece of paper so that you could do a thing, great. Continue to do that until the exact moment you have a chance to jump straight to doing the thing.
Yeah.
The moment you get that chance, no matter how far into the college experiences you are, jump over and go straight to doing the thing, because the experience is more valuable than the piece of paper that says you should get a job doing the thing.
For example, like the 2 full-time positions that I've had, this being number 2 of them, neither of them has anybody looked at my resume. Not one person has looked at a resume I've ever put together.
Oh, yeah. And also, if you are going to college, don't go to class.
Oh my God! All right. I am closing the door on college stuff. Thank you.
I did.
Unless you're trying to get a master's degree and you're going to go apply for another school, like nobody ever looks.
I'm sure we've talked about this,
get the degree and get out. Honestly, skip every class. You'll make it up in the final. There's an incentive for them to not fail you. Come on.
I
Be
took
honest. Start drinking right now.
I took every single class except for one. The only one I didn't take was electrical engineering because that sounded like it was hard. But I took every other class that the University of Texas offered that was self-paced. Like, I had no interest in anthropology or psychology or astronomy, but I knew they were all self-paced. And so,
Don't say that online. Your degree will become worthless.
Oh, that's true.
We have one final email from Flavor Toothpaste. Flavor Toothpaste writes, butts. Thank you so much, Flavor Toothpaste, for that email. If you have an email for this...
Hold on, let's think about that. What did Flavor Toothpaste mean by that? Here's what I think he meant. I think he was saying that there is a but or an end to everything. And we were approaching the end of this program, and thus we should reflect upon its conclusion.
Man, that's pretty good. I feel like you should have more epic, sweeping lullaby music underneath you. Hey, Justin Robert Young, what did we learn today?
Email address first.
Mail at nightattack.tv. Please write us emails. We like it when you write your emails so that Bryce can pick one at random when we're live on the air.
Hey, Brian, I believe that we learned that Andrew Heaton has a very fetching fashion ability.
Yeah, man. I think he also has a dubious understanding of rent. What about you, Andrew? What did you learn?
Oh, man, I learned about all the people that apologized. I learned what a Molly Ben Johnson was. She's from Stranger Things and why you shouldn't lie about makeup.
Molly Ben Johnson.
I learned that when it comes to both of your knowledge about Lizzo, truth hurts.
But most of all, we learned that we did it. You beautiful, beautiful people worldwide. We're live from the new 7 Acre Shwood at Diamond Club Studio. We thank you guys so very much. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Die in a fire.
The Bitball.
Oh, we also learned that that Steal the Win is the only person who ever mattered. Thank you so much, Steal the Win.
Night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack. I love you.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.